Hey everyone, I wanted to do a quick video and talk about those who want to 10x their business, those who are in the residential space and they want to just get a new stream of income or make the government their client. I wanted to go over a few things or a few industries that could benefit from being a government contractor if you're already in the residential space. So I have some notes, so you might see me glancing over to make sure I cover everything that I was thinking of, because as soon as I get these thoughts, I want to go ahead and just put them down just in case that I might forget something, because they just float through my mind all day, all night, even when I'm sleeping. So everyone who is in the plumbing space, in the general contractor space, who do landscaping, who do flooring, stripping and waxing, painters, waste management, pressure washing, welders, and of course, custodians and janitorial. Of course, that's the arm of my business. I wanted to just remind you that when you make the government your client, you're going to automatically 10x your business. That's just something that comes with the nature of the business, whether it's federal contracting or local contracting. A lot of people, when they think about being in construction or being a general contractor, they just think of residential, that were brought into the business at a young age, and so they just kind of stick with it, and it's usually dealing with residential. Nothing against residential. Some people just really love that space. I knew when I got into this industry, facility maintenance, that I did not want to do residential. All the horror stories, with people not wanting to pay. You can almost guarantee that at least the federal government is going to pay. And at the local level, there's also multi-million-dollar contracts. So you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to be paid some sort of way. There's documentation there that's a little more withstanding than on the residential side. So you can use the same skills that you have on the residential side, on the commercial side. The only difference that I see sometimes is you may not have a general contractor's license, and not every state requires a general contractor's license. But for those who do or don't, usually it's not that challenging. And I'm not a general contractor, so I don't know exactly what that entails for every state. I know there's some tests involved. You may have to actually physically do some sort of physical test and also a written test. But then there's some states, I believe Florida and New York right now, where you don't need a general contractor's license to do construction projects, which I thought was kind of weird. But, nonetheless, even if you're in a state that does require it, you should look up what it takes to be a general contractor, or if you need a license for HVAC or for, especially like welding and stuff like that, you may need to have some sort of license in order to practice in that state. So that's something that you definitely need to look up and find out for sure. But typically, if you've been doing it for a while, it's easy breezy. Just take your test and you'll become certified or licensed to do that work for the federal and the local government. With that being said, that satisfies your past performance. Use your past performance from your residential side to bring over to the federal side and the local side, because they want to see that you actually did it. And especially if you're licensed, there shouldn't be an issue with getting your first few or first contract. They just want to see that you are able to perform the work the same size and scope. Not every time, but sometimes they want to see if you can do the job at the same size and scope. So just keep that in mind, that you can take your past performance from the residential side or even commercial side over to the government side. So even if you are in landscaping, that's one of my favorite. I am a plant mom, so I love plants. I love greenery. I love being in nature when there's no bugs, which is almost never, but I just love, I just really love plants and greenery. So landscaping is also something that a lot of people don't really grasp, but that's a government contract. Anytime that you've seen the grass cut near an airport, or the beautiful flowers that are on the side of the highway, or even the grass that's cut on the side of the highway, that is a government contract. The government is paying a company, whether large or small, to maintain that area, whether it's actually physically planting flowers. I've seen many contracts planting flowers on the side of a highway, and sometimes they have a specific type of flower. Sometimes it's just wild flowers that they want planted, or sometimes it's just mowing. And sometimes with the mowing, there's also debris removal. So you may have like a 3-for or a 2-for, where they want you to do the debris removal and cutting the grass and planting the flowers. So if that's something that you would be interested in, just keep in mind that those are all government contracts. And again, with airports or any other type of location that you see the grass is maintained and you're like, who is doing this? It may be a small business doing a government contract. So just remember that you can always just do a Google search and just search City of Atlanta landscaping procurement, or City of Atlanta procurement, and just see if they have any type of contracts that are available for bid. And even if they don't, if you put in the first thing, City of Atlanta landscape and procurement, you may find some other contracts that have already been awarded in the past 1 to 2 to 3 years that are coming up for rebid. And you can start building that relationship with that contracting officer or that buyer for that particular, for the City of Atlanta, or for that particular location within the City of Atlanta. You could build that rapport with them before it's time for that new contract to be renewed. So you just think about, okay, I don't see anything out for bid right now when I go to the City of Atlanta procurement site. However, I see that there was one awarded in 2020. Okay, I see it's a 3-year contract. It's going to be coming up for bid spring, or even really winter going into spring of 2023. So let me start cultivating that relationship, sending that contracting officer or that buyer my capability statement, or just doing an intro email. Or sometimes people drop by. Now that COVID is kind of different, we're back to going to in-person meetups, so you can go and visit. I probably wouldn't recommend that, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Or you can call, you can email, send a capability statement, just kind of check in with them as early as possible, say now for next winter, so you can be on their radar when it comes time for the new landscaping contract to come out. So I just want to give a few tips. All the people who are in the specialty skills, such as landscaping, welding, plumbing, general construction or general contractors, floor stripping and waxing, that's a huge one. That's one of the more plentiful contracts that I add on to some of my services for janitorial or any other service. And floor repair, I add or stripping and waxing to that. Custodial and janitorial, of course, everyone knows that is one of my main assets of my business. Waste management. That waste management can be a little tricky because it can go into litter, but it can also go into like concierge services. There are some industries that are looking for concierge trash pickup. And they may include it into, say, a janitorial or custodial service, or they may just have it separate. So same thing, you Google waste management, City of Atlanta, procurement. Make sure you put in procurement, because they might just think that you're looking for waste management as a whole. But anything that you can think of that you're already doing on the residential side, or even maybe commercial, large commercial, small commercial, you can probably switch that over to the government side by just doing a simple Google search. So I hope this video helped. And if anyone has any questions, please leave down in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. See you later.